Today we are going to see the lesson as hydrologic cycle. Hydrologic is referred to water. Water is one of the most important element on earth. Hydrologic cycle are condensation, forms of condensation, precipitation, forms of precipitation, infiltration, runoff. Okay. Next we are going to see the topic as condensation. It refers to the process in which the gaseous form of water changes into liquid form. Okay. So previous class we have discussed about evaporation. Evaporation is liquid changes into gas. Same the opposite. Condensation is gases change into liquid. Gaseous form of water change into liquid form is called as condensation. Condensation generally occurs in the atmosphere. It is generally occurs in the atmosphere when warm air rises, cool and loses its capacity to hold water vapor. Okay, so when lost its capacity to hold water vapor, it is changed into liquid form. As a result, excess water vapor condenses to form cloud droplet. So condensation is responsible for the formation of cloud. This cloud produces precipitation. So what is called precipitation? Fall down, rainfall. Okay. So rainfall is precipitation, which is the primary route for water to return to the earth surface. Okay. So again, with the help of the precipitation, water. So precipitation means falling, rainfall. Okay. With the help of the rainfall, again water is reached to the earth surface. This process is called as water cycle. Okay. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation. This process is called as water cycle. So condensation is the opposite of evaporation because evaporation is liquid form change into gaseous form. Condensation is gaseous form change into liquid form. So condensation is the opposite of evaporation. Next, forms of condensation. So what are the method forms of condensation? Dew, fog, cloud. Next we are going to see the topic is dew. It is water droplet formed by the condensation of water. This dew is a water droplet formed by the condensation of water vapor on a relatively cold surface of an object is called as dew. Okay, it's called as dew. It is relatively cold surface of an object. Cold surface of an object is called as dew. Next one is frost. The ice crystal formed by deposition of water vapor on a relatively cold surface of an object is called as frost. So this ice crystal formed by deposition of water vapor. Okay, it will form on cold surface of an object is called as frost. Okay, next one is fog. Next one is fog. So this fog is suspended tiny water. This fog is suspended tiny water droplet or ice crystal in an air layer next to the earth surface. It will form air layer next to the earth surface. From the earth surface, next layer air. Next layer is air. It will form an air layer next to the earth surface and it will reduce the visibility to 1000 meter or less than 1000 meter is called as fog. Okay, see the picture is called as fog. Next one is mist. So you know very well about the mist. Okay, so this mist is the tiny droplet. Okay, this mist is the tiny droplet of water hanging in the air. So this mist, tiny droplet of water, it is hanging in the air. This droplet form when the water vapor in the air is rapidly cooled, causing it to change from invisible gas to tiny visible water droplet. Okay, so mist is the tiny droplet. It is water hanging in the air. Hanging in the air. Okay, it is hanging in the air. See the picture. This tiny droplet of water hanging in the air is called as mist. Is called as mist. Next one is cloud. So cloud consists of tiny water droplets or ice particles which are so small and light in weight. Okay, so cloud, the precipitation, the cloud is condensation from the cloud. Okay, the cloud, the condensation from the cloud, the tiny water droplet and or ice particle which are very small and it is very light in weight. The size of droplet generally range from the couple of micron. It is very water. It is very less in size. Micron size to 100 micron. It is micron to 100 micron. Which one? This cloud. The cloud tiny water droplet. It is micron to 100 micron. This is the limit beyond which cloud drop became the rain drop. From this 100 micron only form the rainfall. From the rainfall is called as cloud. Okay. Next we are going to see the topic as precipitation. This precipitation means falling down. See, the rainfall is falling down. Precipitation refers to all form of water that fall from cloud and reaches the earth surface and And for the occurrence of precipitation, cloud droplet or ice crystal must grow heavy enough to fall through the air. Okay, with the help of the air, this precipitation fall down on the earth's surface. This rainfall fall on the earth's surface is called as precipitation. Okay, so evaporation changes to condensation. This condensation changes into precipitation. Again, water reach on the earth. Next one is forms of precipitation. Rain, sleet, freezing rain, hail, snow. So these are all forms of precipitation. So see, the topic is rain. So see, the rain in all the world, it is one of the type of precipitation. This rain, most common kind of precipitation is rain. So the precipitation in the form of water droplet is called rain. Okay, the precipitation, the form of water droplet is called as rain. The precipitation in which the size of rain drop is less than 0.5 millimeter in diameter is known as drizzle. Okay, not heavy rain, normal the drizzling. Okay, so less than 0.5 millimeter in diameter is drizzling, and the rain drop with greater than 0.5 millimeter in diameter is known as rain. So rain is drizzling rain. Okay, drizzling rain. Heavy rain is rain and the slightly rain is drizzling. So less than 0.5 millimeter in diameter is drizzle and greater than 0.5 millimeter in diameter is rain. Next one is sleet. The precipitation which take place in the form of mixture of water droplet and tiny particles of ice 5 millimeter in diameter is known as sleet. Okay, the precipitation which take place in the form of mixture of water droplet. It is mixture of the water droplet and tiny particles of ice. Okay, 5 millimeter in diameter is known as sleet. Next one is freezing rain. At other time, the raindrop falling through the cold air. Other time, the raindrop falling through cold air near the ground do not freeze in the air. Okay, so rainfall near to the ground, but it is not freeze in the air. Instead of the raindrop freeze when they touch the cold surface. When they touch the cold surface, in that time it is changed to the freezing rain. Okay, so rain when they fall down on the earth, in that time it is liquid state. But when it is reach on the cold surface, it change into the freezing rain. This is called as freezing rain. A drop of water are usually greater than 0.5 millimeter in diameter. Next one is hail. The precipitation which consists of round pellet of ice. See the picture, round pellet of ice which are larger than 5 millimeter in diameter is called as hail or hail stones. Hail form only in cloud during the thunderstorm. During the thunderstorm, this hail rainfall will form. Okay, see the picture. This round pellet of ice. Okay, this round pellet of ice is called as hail or hailstone. Okay, next one is snow. After water vapor, okay, often water vapor in a cloud is converted directly into snow. Often the water vapor in a cloud is converted directly into snow pieces due to the lowering of temperature. Due to the lowering of temperature, it falling snow. It is falling a snow. Okay. It appears like a powdery mass of ice. This picture is appear like a powdery mass of ice is called as snow. Is called as snow. Okay. Next one is infiltration. So infiltration means when the precipitation, when the rainfall, the water goes to groundwater. This water goes to ground is called as infiltration. See the picture. Precipitation and infiltration can raise the water table. Raise the water table. So water entering the soil at the surface of the ground is termed as infiltration. When water entering the soil and surface of the ground is called as infiltration. Infiltration allows the soil temporarily to store water, making it available for plants. Okay, this water is useful for plants, organism in the soil. Infiltration is an important process. It is the important process where rainwater soak. What is soak? This rainwater goes to interior of the earth is called as soak into the ground through the soil and underlying rock layer. It reaches to the rock layers. Some of this water ultimately return to the surface through spring or low spot downhill. Okay, so when the precipitation, this water goes to the infiltration ground. Okay, inside the ground, again it reaches to the soil and mountain, and with help of the mountain, again it comes to the earth surface. It comes to the earth surface. You know what? River is originated from the mountain. River is originated from the mountain. In that mountain, how it is getting the water means when the precipitation and water goes to underground, it reaches to the mountain, and from the mountain again the water reaches to the earth surface. Again reach to the earth surface. Okay. Next one is percolation. So percolation, see the picture, transpiration from the plant. Okay, no, well, already discussed evapotranspiration. From the plant, getting the water means change to the condensation means is called as transpiration. From any water bodies like ocean, seas means is called as evaporation. This both process is called as evapotranspiration, change into the condensation. Percolation means after condensation, change to the precipitation, the rainfall reach to the ground and goes to the interior of the earth is called as percolation. Okay. The water cycle, the water reach to the ground, again it goes to the interior of the earth is called as percolation. So percolation is the downward movement. Percolation is a downward. Downward means going to the earth, interior of the earth. So downward movement or infiltrated water through the soil and rock layer. This infiltration occurs near the surface of the soil and deliver the water from the surface into the soil and plant root zone. Okay, so this next we are going to see the topic is runoff. So runoff is the water that is pulled by the gravity. Runoff is the water that is pulled by the gravity across land surface. What does runoff means? When the rainfall, the excess water pulled by gravity across the land surface is called as runoff. See the picture. This water pulled by gravity in the land surface is called as runoff. Only about 35% of the precipitation end up in the sea or ocean. Okay, so 35% of precipitation of water end in the sea or ocean, and remaining 65% of water is absorbed into the soil. 35% of water join in the water borders, remaining 65% of water absorbed into the soil. Okay, so the excess of water is called as runoff. Next one is types of runoff. Surface runoff, subsurface runoff, base flow. Next we are going to see the topic as surface runoff. See the picture. So runoff means the excess of water flow on the earth surface is called as runoff. It is divided into surface runoff. Surface means above the earth surface is called as surface runoff. See the picture. Evaporation, transpiration. How we are getting the rainfall? Because of evaporation and transpiration, and form the cloud is called as condensation, and rainfall is called as precipitation. And some water is going to interior of the earth, and excess water runoff earth surface is called as surface runoff. Okay, it is called as hydrologic cycle. It is the portion of rainfall which enter the stream immediately after the rainfall. It occurs when the rainfall is longer, heavier, and exceed of the rate of infiltration. Okay, so infiltration, some water goes to the interior of the earth. Infiltration, after exceed of the infiltration, flow surface on the earth is called as runoff. Next one is subsurface runoff. Infiltration method is called as subsurface runoff. The water that has entered the subsoil and moves laterally without joining the water table. Okay, so infiltration time, the water goes to the subsoil and it moves to without joining the water table to the stream, river, but it will join any stream or river or ocean is called as subsurface runoff. Okay, this subsurface runoff is usually referred as interflow. Next one we are going to see the topic is base flow. See the picture. Interior of the earth. Okay, see the picture, base flow. It is base flow, surface, subsurface, and below the subsurface is called as base flow. It is the flow of underground water from the groundwater. It is water channel. This flow of underground water from a saturated groundwater zone to the water channel. Okay, it is usually appears at a downstream location where the channel elevation is lower than the groundwater table. So this base flow means surface water, and below the surface is subsurface water, and this water join in the water table. This base flow water is joined in the water table is called as base flow. Do you understand? So what is water cycle? Evaporation, condensation, precipitation, infiltration, runoff is called as water cycle. Okay. Recapitulation. The precipitation in the form of water droplet is called rain. Okay. Precipitation means rainfall. It will form of water droplet is called as rain. When the water entering the soil at the surface of the ground is termed as infiltration. When the water is entering the soil, surface of the ground is called as infiltration. Runoff is the water that is pulled by gravity across land surface. So it is runoff. Excess of the water pulled because of the gravity in the surface of the earth is called as runoff. Okay. Next, learn and write the following. Your question is explain about condensation. Next question is write in detail about precipitation and infiltration. Write in detail about precipitation, infiltration. Next question is give in detail about percolation and runoff. Next, current affairs. Who is the Minister of Health and Family Welfare? in Tamil Nadu? Dr. C. Vijay. Who is the Minister of Health and Family Welfare in Tamil Nadu? Dr. C. Vijay. Okay. I hope you understood this session very well. This class will be continued in the next video.